Hello friends, hello everyone. Friends, welcome you all in this virtual lecture series. So in this section we will start cascading style sheet. Cascading style sheet unit will be covered, which is come from the web technology. Will be covered into 3 to 4 virtual lecture series, virtual lectures. So in this virtual lectures we will try to cover 3 to 4 points. The main point is that we'll start with introduction, then features and advantages of CSS, what is the syntax of CSS, then will we see the one complete example. Okay. In the next section will be again cover few more points, just like a type of CSS, then one different attributes which are very important, like class, ID and unique. So these are the later on will be covered some different attributes which will be called as the properties of that particular different tags, and last but not least will be covered the complete example there where we are attaching CSS with XML file and HTML file. So let's start in this first part of CSS. So friends, CSS is what? The CSS is cascading style sheet. What is the use of it? It is generally prepared and used for the formatting your any XML or HTML document. Generally your XML document is very unformatted way, and just will be seeing later on what is the difference between the with CSS and without CSS. So your XML, the formatting of XML document, so you have to attach this particular XML CSS file, then it will be become more meaningful and formatted document. The second thing is that once you create one particular CSS, it can be utilized or used for the different classes of web documents, just like XML, HTML. You can just link this particular CSS and you can use the facility of this CSS to that particular different web documents. Okay, so here I will define the two different formats. The one for the how to link your CSS file to the XML file, and second is the CSS file to the HTML file. These are the few main features that we can say, or the advantages of CSS. The main advantage is that once you write one particular CSS, it can be save your time. Means suppose you have to format of one particular big document or number of documents, so you have to just define one particular CSS rules, and that just you have to link to the different documents. So it will be ultimately saving your time. Second is that it will be CSS and your XML file is different, so that you can be easily download this particular file, as well as easy to maintenance, as well as it will be easy to compatible for the different devices, just like a mobile device. We know that the one website can be open in mobiles or handheld devices, and also open on your web computer or laptops. So for defining, you have to define particular criteria. For suppose you want to define this particular website for the laptops, some few points are few, or we can say, set of rules that you can define a CSS. So according to that, you can make your document which will be compatible for the laptop computers or different mobile or handheld devices. The next point is that it will be globally standardized. Means that CSS is globally accepted. It is a platform independent. It is a browser independent. It can be attached, or it will be used for any particular browsers. So that's why you can be easily use this particular CSS with a different platform as well as globalized standard. Then you can use this particular, once you so many times we are save one particular page and that related CSS is not attached, or sometimes that particular page is not displayed in a proper way. Suppose we are going on an offline way and suppose this particular document with the CSS, the CSS is a small file. It will be just formatting your document. So although your document is downloaded, so this particular CSS is managed to how to display the different content which will be appear on CSS. One more important features of CSS is that HTML, as we know that HTML file or HTML document provide or different attributes and different properties for formatting your document, formatting your web page. Here CSS is provided, or CSS having so many different types of attributes and properties. So it's a large, what we can say, the database to having a different properties and their different values. So that's why you can easily apply this particular attributes for your documents. So it will be definitely the superset properties of HTML document. Now friends, this is one small example that you can see on your screen. This is syntax. Here I have mentioned one selector. That selector is nothing but your tags. In XML, as we know that we are defined as so many different tags. Just like in our next example, I will be declare that there is one name, surname, and email ID. These 3 different tags, and this selector is this is used for the tags, which will be used in a user-defined way in XML, and you can also use this particular tags in HTML language. So in the next slide, so this is one small segment. You can see on screen, this is a small example. Actually, this example, all students are known that whenever we cover this particular event in XML, so this is a small example. There are main root tag is student. There are 3 subtags: first name, last name, email ID, and finally we close all these tags to its appropriate closing tags. And it's the output of XML document. Suppose you are not using any particular CSS, then it will be display something like this. Okay, now let's see. This is one complete example. Here I have mentioned one particular XML file. The first line is nothing but declaration of XML. Second is nothing but you have to link your CSS file to your XML file. Here my XML document name is stud.xml, and suppose I have to connect here stud1.css file. So the coding for XML document is just same thing like this: student, the first name, last name, email ID, and finally the root node is student that I have closed here. There is a related CSS file, that is a stud1.css, that I have mentioned here. First of all, I change the background of this particular whole document. As the background color is pink. There are 3 different tags, 3 different subtags: first name, last name, and email ID. So I define some particular properties, we can say, or attributes here, and also mention the value for that each and every attributes. So these are the 2 different files. This file I have to save in one XML textual document with a CSS extension, and another XML file that I have saved again in any particular text editor with extension .xml. So let's see how it will display the output. So friends, see the difference between your previous XML document, that is without using CSS, and this is you're using this particular CSS. So this is a very small example. You can enlarge or utilize this particular example for designing or any particular web page, or by using XML documents. So these are the few things that we have studied here for regarding to CSS for introductory section. Next section we will be, friends, study about the different type of CSS. Suppose you want to connect this, there are 3 different types: internal CSS, external, and inline. So we'll be more elaborate all these particular things in our next, that is the CSS part 2 lectures. So till then, take care.